We have traveled all over Kenya to find hard-working farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the help they need to improve their farms,
Get better yields.
and build profitable businesses.
We will see how farmers from across the region can benefit from our experts' advice.
While also learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences as they shape up their shambas.
Karibu to the Shamba Shape Up Safari.
Tony,
Yeah?
what do you think these rocks are saying?
Let me find out.
I don't mean that. I mean, what do you think the rocks represent?
Oh, I see. Solidity, reliability, order, and they're quite beautiful too.
Oh yes, I quite agree. You know, Tony, women farmers in Bungoma County have inherited qualities like their landscape.
Wow.
Oh yes, and we're going to visit one such farmer.
This week we are in Bungoma County, and here is our farmer, Betty Naliaka.
Betty has over 7 acres to farm. It's a lot of work for a retired school teacher. So she's lucky to have help during the day from one of her workers, Hassan.
Now, let's see if we can help her too. Mom!
Welcome.
How are you?
Very fine.
How are you, Mom?
I'm very fine.
Yes.
And you?
I'm okay.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Show us your shamba.
Come, I'll show you.
Okay.
Betty's 7 acres comprise of beans, cassava,
Cabbage, kales or sukuma wiki, onions.
and of course her cows.
This looks very well organized. Let's see if Betty has any problems.
I've never tested the soil. So when I plant the crops, sometimes they dry up.
All right.
Yes.
So you want to know the right fertilizer to use for that?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on the side of dairy,
All right.
I would like to know how to rear a calf to bring it to be in good health and to grow up to be fruitful.
How old is the calf?
The calf is 2 weeks old.
Oh, quite young.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Anything else?
I would like also to know the best way how to store the maize.
And I'm sure you're storing them to get a good price in the market.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see what to do about that.
Yes, we have experts. They're going to work with you. But before we get to work, let me ask you, do you keep records of these beautiful crops that we are seeing in the Shamba?
I do, but they're scattered all over.
They're all over the place.
You write them on pieces of paper.
On pieces of paper sometimes.
Yes.
I forget to find them.
Well, Shamba Shape Up are going to give you a farmer record book. There
Thank
it is.
you.
Where you can put all your records so that you're able to tell whether your farm is doing well or not. But I'm sure with our experts,
Yes.
we are going to lift you up and put you in a higher place, higher than this mountain I'm seeing here, so that you become shaped up.
So, let's pitch the tent and get ready for work. So, Tony,
Yes, Carol.
are you ready for a hard day's work?
Of course I am.
First, I'm going to find out the results of the soil test.
And then I can recommend the right fertilizer to use.
Teamwork! Later! So, our first expert today has come to test the soil. Betty has had problems with some of her crops drying up and she needs some advice. So, who better to help than our very own soil doctor, Ian from Crop Nuts? So, Ian, why is it important to do a soil test?
It's very much important because before you do any planting, you first need to know how your soil is, and also it will help you in selecting the type of crop that you need to grow.
How is it done?
We come to your shamba, we pick a soil sample, we put it in our bags, then we take it to our labs. In our labs, it will be analyzed, then broken down into the different nutrients that the plants needs. So if the nutrients are in excess, we tell you that your nutrients are in excess and you don't need more. If they are lacking, we tell you that these nutrients, it's lacking and you need to add some more. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ian, it takes 1 week to get a soil result.
Yes.
You were here last week.
Yes.
So the 7 days have elapsed. Today is the D-Day.
Today is the D-Day for Betty.
Do you have results for us?
I have your results here. I made a copy for myself as well.
Okay.
So I'll give you your copy. Here, Betty.
Thank you.
And this is mine. One, I'll explain the colors. There's green and there is red. Red means danger, but green means all is good. So if we start looking at your report, we have something that is called pH. And from your pH, is it green or red?
It is green.
It's green. So it means what?
Good.
You're good. pH mainly, it means the acidity levels in your soil. For instance, when we did a test in your farm, we found that the pH was good, meaning your soil is neither acidic nor is it alkaline, meaning you've been conditioning your soil in a good manner. But this is not the case in many farmers. Many farmers in Kenya have an issue when it comes to the soil pH. Others, the soil pH is so low, meaning it's acidic. There's a way of correcting it, and this is adding something called lime. What lime does, it comes into your soil, and it replaces all the acidity inside your soil, and it conditions your soil. But for your farm, your pH is good. The second thing is called what? Phosphorus. From your report, is the phosphorus red or green?
Green.
Green. So it means that the phosphorus levels are also good. What phosphorus does is that it improves your roots. And we know the roots are the ones that use and take nutrients. So if the roots are good, it means the plant is feeding well. Okay, Betty?
Okay.
Good. Let's look at this. The other one, which is called what? Potassium.
It is green.
It is green. So it means what?
It is good.
It is good. What potassium does, we normally call it a quality nutrients. Let's say if you're growing things like tomatoes, things like onions, you'll see the color is good, the taste is nice, and it's also big. So this is what potassium does.
I can see the next one is calcium.
Yes.
So if you have enough calcium in your farm, it means that the crops are feeding the right amounts of calcium. So they'll be strong, green, and very healthy.
Okay.
So the other nutrients is called what?
Organic matter.
Organic matter, these are the maize stalks. Also, organic matter can be obtained from things like manures. I've seen that you have good cows up there. So when your soil has enough organic matter, it means that your soil is healthy. Then the final one is called CEC. It tells us roughly the type of your soil. We have clay soils, we have loam soils, and we also have sandy soils. So the CEC plays a hand in telling us the type of soil that you have.
You know, initially he said when we see red, it's danger.
Yes.
So you mean there is a danger here?
Good question.
We can see red, which means it's danger. So it means that your CEC is a bit high. It means that your soil will become compact. So this is a problem that you need to rectify. And a remedy for that is something called gypsum.
Gypsum.
Gypsum is normally a powder. When you apply it, it conditions your soil. It loosens your soils. It means the water will be able to drain well. The roots will be able to do what? To go deep. And they will be able to take the nutrients well.
So Ian,
Yes,
Betty's farm is doing well.
it's doing well.
What about those that are not doing well, where you give them the result and it's all red?
Yes.
What happens?
We do have farmers like that, whom once they have received the results are shocked and actually afraid because there's a lot of red in the soil. But there's no reason to be alarmed. We recommend the specific fertilizer that you're supposed to use. We'll tell you the name, the type, the ratios, and also the amount to apply in your farm so that the reds can turn into what? Into green. Yes.
Mr. Ian,
Yes, Betty.
what is the process for me to follow so that my soil can be tested?
You can contact us, CropNuts. You can also write us an email through support@cropnuts.com, or even you can visit our website, which is www.cropnuts.com. And even simple, you can text us through Shamba. It will take 5 to 7 working days for the samples to be ready, and the results will be sent to you. And also our representatives can come with the results to your Shamba and actually show you what the issue is with your Shamba.
Thank you very much, Ian.
You're welcome.
Doing a soil test is the first step towards getting a bumper yield, and it saves you a lot of money.
Time for our second expert of the day, Ignatius from Mavuno. He's here to give Betty some advice on keeping the soil healthy and full of nutrients for the plants. A well-balanced soil will increase yield and increase profits too. Why is it important to plant beans?
Beans do come from a leguminous family. Legumes in our soils, it does nitrogen fixation. But the best idea is now rotational cropping. Like this one, he has planted plain beans. Definitely he'll have to plant maize or any other crop. So that is rotational cropping.
So, beans are great for improving soil quality as they fix nitrogen. But to get the full benefit, rotate the legumes every season. Use a seed crop like maize and then with a root crop like potato. Is it necessary to use fertilizer?
Yeah, sure. It is very necessary to use fertilizer when planting beans. And the best fertilizer to use here is Mavuno fertilizer. Reason, Mavuno fertilizer has specific fertilizer for beans. We have what we call Mavuno beans and peas. Not only that, Mavuno has other fertilizers for other crops.
Mavuno have a range of over 10 different fertilizers, each targeted for a specific crop. So you can be sure that the plant is getting the exact blend of nutrients it needs to get strong, healthy growth with a high yield. Why is it important to have a fertilizer that targets a certain crop?
Every crop has its own nutritional requirement, and that one will help the crop to have more yields, and also this fertilizer helps to improve the nutrition of your soil.
So what does Mavuno fertilizer contain?
Mavuno fertilizer contains 11 more micronutrients apart from the NPK, and these 11 more micronutrients are very useful in fixing other nutrients in the soil. This includes calcium, it includes sulfur, it includes molybdenum, it includes beryllium, and thereby it will make the crop to grow faster and very healthy, which will make our mom here to harvest more yields.
When planting beans, dig the hole, add fertilizer, then cover with soil. Next, add the seed and cover again with soil. It is important that the fertilizer is deeper than the seed and separated with the soil to avoid the fertilizer scorching the seed. Okay, what stage are we on this crop here?
Now on this crop we are at flowering stage, and at this stage this is the best time to top dress our beans.
So when it comes to top dressing, what are we supposed to do?
Before you top dress your crop, you need to do weeding.
Betty?
Yes,
How big is your shamba of beans here?
2 acres.
2 acres.
Yes.
He wants us to clear 2 acres. Do you think I can be able to do that?
No,
No, I need help.
we need help.
2 acres is quite a lot. Let me see. Hey, you. Yes, cameraman. Come here. And you're not escaping. Come to work. Come. Hey, sound man. Come on, guys. Come. Let's go to work. Well, with 2 acres to weed, we need the whole Shamba Shape Up crew to help out. Good to finally see the cameraman working hard. But I can't see that lazy sound man anywhere. Ah, good. Caro to the rescue. We'll soon have this finished. Lots of work. Well done, everybody. Now, our Shamba is clean.
Yes.
You are happy with it?
I'm very happy with it.
Good. Let's talk about top dressing.
Yeah.
What do you have?
For top dressing, we have Mavuno top dressing. Unlike any other top dressing, it has sulfur and calcium, which enables to nourish the bean seed. So it will help the bean seed to have more weight, and it will help the crop to be very healthy. And thereby, Mama Betty will have more yields.
How much of this top dressing can I use for an acre?
In 1 acre, Mama Betty can use 75 kg of Mavuno top dressing.
Yes.
And this one can be applied just before or at the onset of flowering.
How do I apply it?
You can just touch and you apply at the root level or the root region of the bean crop.
Wow. Show us how to top dress.
Yeah, sure.
For top dressing, fill a bottle top full of Mavuno for each plant and spread around the roots. Avoid touching the root directly, as this may scorch the plant. It is important to top dress when the ground is wet so that the plant gets the full benefit. Top dressing ensures the plant will grow strong with a high number of beans per plant. If you use Mavuno for planting and Mavuno for top dressing, and there are no other problems like pests or low rainfall, it's possible to reach 8 bags per acre.
So, we've learned the importance of doing a soil test.
And how it can impact on the choice of fertilizer. But on this Shamba, Betty is a real expert.
That's right, and we've asked her to share her top tip for farming.
The idea I would like to share with the other farmers who are watching the program is very important to keep the farm clean so that you can notice any problem coming up like diseases, and doing so you will have a good yield of harvest, and that is much profit for a farmer.
Wow. What do you think of that, Carol?
Very good advice.
Coming up after the break, calf rearing
and storing maize. Welcome back
to Shamba Shape Up. We are in Bungoma
and we are visiting Betty Naliaka.
We've seen the value of doing a soil test
and of using a fertilizer to improve yield.
But we also want to find out about rearing cow
and how to store maize while keeping it free from pests. So, no time to waste.
Let's get to work. And here's our next expert right on time. It's Ken from Coopers. He's here to help Betty with her newborn dairy calf. She wants it to grow into a productive milker with a high yield. Let's see what he has to say. Now, Betty, tell our expert, how old is your calf?
It is 2 weeks old.
2 weeks?
Yes, please.
So what have you been feeding it from the day it was born?
Since it was born, it has been feeding on the mother's milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, Ken, for a farmer to get a good, healthy calf, what should a farmer do?
A lot of people think that calf management begins when the calf is born. But you see, calf management begins even before the calf is born. 2 months to calving, you need to manage that calf. So what you need to do steaming up for the mother.
Ken, what is steaming up?
Steaming up is a special diet that you give to the cow 2 months before it calves down, so that you will have a healthy calf, and then you will also maximize on the production.
So how does Betty steam up her cows?
Yeah, steaming up, you use 2 products. So the first one is the Maclick Dry. This is a very good mineral salt for steaming up. When you use Maclick Dry cow, you will have a healthy calf and you will have more milk. You give 100 grams per day per cow. The other product is Kupakula Advance. And Kupakula Advance is a protein supplement. The other one was a mineral. This is a protein supplement that is good for steaming up. So combination of the 2 products will give you more milk and you'll have a healthy and strong calf. Because the calf is the foundation of the future dairy herd. So you need to give it a good foundation.
Okay. How does a farmer use Kupakula?
The instructions are just here. You give it 200 grams in the morning, 200 grams in the evening.
Good. Okay, now the calf is born. What's the next step from there?
So once the calf is born, you need to allow the calf to take in colostrum. Colostrum is that first milk from the cow, because that milk has antibodies, and antibodies will give us defense.
So for how long does it feed on the colostrum?
The colostrum, Betty, you need to give it 3 days. After 3 days, you now begin what we call bucket feeding. And the importance of bucket feeding is that you will sell your milk and buy a good milk replacer. Our milk replacer here is Trilic. This is a very good milk replacer because it is balanced. So again, because we are targeting a good weight gain from the calf to weaning, you use Trilic.
If I may ask, why do you recommend Trilic other than the calf to continue with the mother's milk?
Trilic is cheap as opposed to raw milk. So we want the farmer to get some profit, so sell your milk and buy for the calf Trilic.
Is there a style of feeding?
When feeding the cow a milk replacer, we recommend you use a teat bucket. For those farmers who don't have a teat bucket, you can use a bottle. You have to ensure that the calf is facing up as you give it a milk replacer.
So why should it face up?
We want to target the milk to go to the right stomach so that it doesn't cause complications. If the calf faces down, the milk might go to a wrong place, then it gives some complication.
Is that all that the calf needs?
No, Tony, we have a very good product called Diamond V. Diamond V will help us to develop the rumen of the calf. Because our objective here is to have that rumen develop so that the calf can take in solid material.
Oh, so you can mix both of them.
You mix Diamond V with Trilic.
So, mix 125 grams of Trilic with half teaspoon of Diamond V into 1 liter of clean, warm water. Feed 4 times a day until the weaning at around 3 months.
Now, after Trilic and Diamond V, the calf is taking in solid material. So you introduce Kupakula nutrition.
and that is the time that the calf can take in hay. You will feed it by itself 200 grams per day per calf.
Wow, it seems like Coopers have got all the products that the farmer needs. So remember, in order to get a good calf, you need to steam up your cows 2 months before delivery. And once the calf is delivered, colostrum is very important for the first 3 days. And then use the supplements we've just seen so that you can get a good calf and a huge healthy cow in the future.
Our final expert today is Eric from Osho. He's come to advise Betty on the best way of storing maize long term. Betty wants to keep the maize so that she can sell when the market price is high. But she has had some problems.
Betty, how do you store your maize?
I store in the ordinary packs.
The gunias?
The gunias, but it doesn't last long. You find a lot of weevils destroying the maize, and I end up losing.
So that brings me to you, Eric.
Okay, in the drying area, the maize was well placed. There was a canvas and then the maize on the top.
Right.
And this maize had dried until it was 13.5%.
How did you know the maize was dry enough?
You can get a glass and then you put the salt inside and then put some few grains of maize and then you just shake.
So is it something we can do practically?
You can do it practically.
Oh, Betty, you think you can get a glass? And
Yeah, I
some
can
salt?
reach out for.
Okay, all right. That sounds interesting. Oh,
So
there we are.
thank you, Betty. This is a glass,
Okay.
a transparent glass, and then this is the salt. So you can just take a small amount of salt,
Okay.
put it in the glass like this.
Is that enough?
That is enough to tell you whether the maize is sufficiently dry. And then we are able to shake it
Just like that.
just like this. It is simple as it is. Immediately when you shake it like this, how are you going to read your results? You'll actually read your results by looking onto these grains. So if the grains will be sticky with the salt, it will tell you that the grains are not dry. But when they are not sticky to the grains, and then you will be able to know that the maize is dry up to 13%. Now it is ready to be preserved. Yes.
We move to now the storage.
Yes.
Tell us what you found out.
So when I came to the storage room, Madam Betty, you also done well. There is air circulating well, but there are a few things. One, the pallets that you are putting your maize on the top, they are very small, thus making the maize or the produce closer to the ground. And that closeness to the ground will bring some contamination. Problem number two, the maize bag are not horizontally placed. So my advice today, I would wish that you store your bags lying horizontally onto the ground so that you will be able to store very big number of bags of maize.
Okay.
Yes.
Betty has talked about weevils. How do you advise that she stores this maize?
We as Osho Chemicals, we have a very good product called Scanner. Scanner is a dusty insecticide that will be able to protect your maize from weevils for about 6 months.
Okay.
And it is very available in all agrovets within Bungoma and even countrywide. Yes, with a very cheaper price.
And how do I use it?
First and foremost, we will give you a precaution. You should not mix Scanner Super in a direct sunlight.
Okay.
Because the two active ingredients that we've used to formulate that product is very sensitive to sunlight. So we would wish that you put it under the shade and then you mix 50 grams for 1 bag.
Right, let's see how it's done. To ensure the Scanner Super is effective, first carry the maize to a dry, shady area away from direct sunlight. Spread a sheet on the ground to keep the maize clean. Pour out the maize and spread evenly. Next, add the Scanner Super, 50 grams for every 90 kilo bag of maize and mix together. Once the Scanner Super and the maize are thoroughly mixed, Pack into a storage bag. When the bag is full, tie the top as tight as possible and dust all around the outside of the bag. This ensures pests are kept well away. That's it. The bag is ready for storage. But don't forget, make sure it's placed off the ground and away from the walls. And stack with the bags lying down so you can fit the maximum amount of bags in your storeroom.
What a shape up, what a day.
Everything has been so wonderful, I tell you. I've learned so much.
Yes.
Now you know how to store the maize in a proper manner.
Yes.
I will not lose this time.
You are not losing.
No.
And I'm sure in the future, because of the little calf that we looked at, you'll be getting plenty of milk.
A lot of milk. And I know it's going to grow in a very big, nice cow.
Yes.
Okay, and that's it from this Shamba, and we'll see you in the next Shamba.